Hi, this is Brian Johnson. My number is... And I have been in contact with you about my documentary about men's fitness, The Better Body Starter Kit for Men. And I am calling to talk more about setting you up for an interview, sitting you down with my camera, asking you some simple questions, and getting your story about better fitness recorded and ready for the film. That would be wonderful. I'm glad you're interested, and I hope we can connect soon. So give me a call. I do work tonight at 5, so after about 4:45 I would have to let it go to voicemail. But whether you get me live or recording, let me know, and we'll go from there. Okay, thanks. Bye. Back when explorers crossed the ocean on sailing ships and were beholden to the winds to keep them moving, it was always a bit of a scare to enter an area or a weather pattern that resulted in doldrums. No breeze, nothing going anywhere. That was last week. This week is mildly better, but even now I'm still sitting here thinking, how am I going to fill 15 minutes? Now, first of all, I'll start by saying Happy St. Patrick's Day. And yes, I do have, see if I can get my green suspenders up. I do have green on me. They're still attached to my pants, so you can't pinch me. I actually was just about to go to the gym for a workout and wear my green suspenders when I remembered that I hadn't done this video yet. So I'm going to sit down and do this fairly quickly. And is my microphone really loud today? I may have to tone that down, but anyway, here we are. A little bit has happened this week. That is loud. Hold on. Of course, I'll mix the whole thing so that it sounds reasonable, but it was spiking into the red, and that means distortion, and I don't want distortion. I want you to have a wonderful oral experience as you listen to me really kind of entertain myself by just babbling on for 15 minutes. Anyway, a little bit did happen this week. I started, what did I even tell you last week? I started on March 7th, 300 days to the new year. I started pushing myself to say, try to do something every day, a tangible or quantifiable step toward making the film happen. And a few things that are worth talking about did. I went out of my way, as busy as my weekend has been. In fact, just this morning, actually, yes, I called one man. No, I didn't call him this morning. Who did I call this morning? I'm only going to go by first names because they aren't in the film yet. They haven't actually signed a form. If something happens and they don't end up in the film, I don't want, I don't know. And maybe I'm overthinking this, but I just don't want rumors or questions or, I don't know. I don't want them to feel like they got dragged into it ahead of time, dragged into the conversation. So I have, let's see, what have I done? I left a voicemail with a man named Darren. Darren is somebody that I connected with, excuse me, it's getting late and I'm going to start yawning quite a bit probably, but I connected with a man named Darren way back, a few months ago at the end of 2024. No, he is the one. I connected with him in the summer of 2024, and he said he had to go in for a surgery, so it would be a bad time to interview him. And then we got into the holidays, and here we are, March of 2025. I was able to call him and leave a voicemail, and we'll see if I hear back from him soon. If not, I will call him. I left a text with my friend Carson. Carson just turned 34. Happy birthday, Carson. And we talked. I took him to lunch for his birthday, and we talked about his being in the film. He's interested, but due to an extremely busy work environment, he has been off the the fitness pursuit for, I guess, a while. He didn't really say. But he wants to get back on it so that his interview is more interesting, more legitimate. I'm about to text him back and say, I really am open to everybody's story, people who are just getting started, restarting. But if he wants to wait a month and have more to talk about, that's fine. I'm not going to push that. A man named Jim, an elder gentleman. My wife knows him through a fitness club, I guess. I don't know what. It's a nationwide group, and they have a chapter here in Redmond. And he was attending for a while. Oh, here it comes. I've been in contact with Jim, and the last I heard, he said he's interested, but he wants to talk to his wife, find out when would be a good time. And the fourth person is a man named Bruno, and it looks like we're going to do his interview this coming Friday. So I have one interview penciled in on the calendar, one interested but wants to get back into it, one interested needs to talk to the wife, and one interested, but I haven't heard back from him today, which, I'm going to give myself a shot of caffeine before I shoot the next one of these. Wow. I apparently am quite sleepy, so it may be off to bed early tonight. It might mean no Jim, which is something I need to fight against. What have I told you? I do plan to put myself in the film, and I have been planning to put myself in the film as one of the people. It's not a biography. It's not about me. It's not a documentary about my pursuits. I have a YouTube channel for that. I have fun with that. That's great. But I think it was January of 2024. I said, okay, here we go. This is where I'm going to start and put myself in the film, before and after photos. And what do I mean by put myself in the film? I'm going to open the film, somewhere near the open of the film. There will be what I call day one for me, and it will have progress pictures and data on my size and shape, and then a couple of times throughout the film, a shot of me working out or a shot of me eating. But again, it's not about me. And then at the end, I will put in closing pictures. And those closing pictures will be taken basically whenever the film is done. We've got all the footage. We've got all the interviews. We've edited the thing. It's really looking good. Maybe we haven't done all of the color adjusting and all of that, but we've got what we're calling the film. And I say we because I'm kind of hoping that somewhere out there, sometime as this thing starts to progress, one or more people will be interested in helping edit, maybe mix sound. That is my least favorite aspect of video and film production, is getting a good sound mix. I would love to find somebody who's good at it, and passionate about it. The sound mix, the coloring. I don't know if you're unfamiliar with film production. Video cameras, and celluloid film do not see color the way the human eye does. The human eye can adjust. I can sit indoors and call this white light. And then I can go outdoors and my eyes will very quickly adjust and call that white light. But in reality, the light bulbs here in my office are sending out a lot of the red wavelength. And the sun, as yellow as it may look, actually sends out a lot of the blue wavelength. Our eyes adjust, cameras don't. You have to, on a video camera, you press some buttons and it does some adjusting. In the old days, which I still remember and still wish we actually shot on, of celluloid, you made those final adjustments in the phase called color timing. And basically it just meant that you went through every shot of the film and had the film printer adjust how much red light, how much green light, and how much blue light was shining through the negative and onto the master print, so that it all looked proper. It all looked like, and all the scenes outdoors looked like outdoor scenes, and all the indoor scenes looked like indoor scenes, and it all looked white, or white balanced. balanced to treat the light coming from the light bulbs or the sun as white. And with Adobe Premiere, which I've been introduced to by helping out a local editor, there are a ton of editing tools for balancing the color and adjusting it and shaping it in the computer. It's how they can do things like, I don't know, there was, the opening shot of Mamma Mia, the film, has our lead singer, whose name I just forgot, the young lady. She's a good singer. She's mailing a letter by moonlight. Well, they shot that in the middle of the day, and then they went in on the computer and readjusted the lighting so it looks like moonlight. I can do that stuff. I have the tools to do that. It's just there's so much to do, and it's so complicated, and I know some of the basic terms. I know about gamma levels and black levels and white levels and balancing the color and color timing, but it's so much more complicated, potentially more complicated now in the digital world, to really make each shot look its best. If I can farm that out to somebody, I will gladly do that, because that's just not my current strength. And if I'm trying to do that for an entire feature film, anyway, all of that to say, we'll get to a point where we basically have the film. At which point, again, here's this nebulous we. They will turn to me and say, Brian, we're pretty much ready. Now all we need is the closing scene where you get your photos taken, you get measured again, and we compare the start and the finish, and you can turn to the camera, or however it gets presented. I'll basically say, the point will be to prove that I know what I'm talking about. If I cannot effect in my own body the changes that I'm promising to the viewer, then it doesn't mean I don't know what I'm talking about, but the film will definitely be lacking in the credibility needed to really help it. If I can prove that I know what I'm talking about by actually having a visible difference between day 1 and day, X, day A and day Z, then that will be that much more helpful. So that I've gotten started a few times, and each time I get started and then life is busy. I kind of stumble out of the gate. I can't get my acting gear to get to the gym and start eating right. When I start, every day has to count. Every day has to count for as much as I can possibly do until the last day, because I don't really even know what the last day is. If I'd like to finish this film, if I'd like to have a working cut ready to send to a composer, ready to be color timed, ready to be sound mixed by the end of this year, which is what I'd like, then I have at most, as we record this, 275, 285, 285 to 290 days. And that is enough time if I take it seriously. I could make quite a transformation. If I really get my diet right, if I consistently hit the gym and all of that, I can do it. But it needs to be done. So all these times in the past where I've said, okay, this is it. This is my beginning of the film, and then it went and I lost momentum. So on record, for all 10 to 12 of you currently watching, April 1st, 2025 is my day 1. That is when I begin my quest to show to the viewers of the film that I know what I'm talking about. Okay. Anyway, so I've contacted 4 people this week, between last Monday and this Monday. I'm going to contact some more starting tomorrow. I think the ball is rolling again. I've got to get it rolling because here comes summer, and I can't afford to miss another summer. I feel like I've talked about some of it. I got to go back and watch old episodes before I say anything more, and I think that's enough time for today anyway. So thanks for watching. It will get interesting. I promise. At least I hope it will, because if it doesn't, that means I've failed miserably.